a movie with snakes on a plane. I think that'll be. That combo would be great.
Oh my god, he could also be the pilot.
I mean, The Rock can do anything. Let's face it.
The Rock can do anything.
I'm a fan.
I like the idea of him being on a plane because then the plane is cartoonishly full of snakes immediately, and still somebody on the plane's like, I don't know, I don't see it. I think we're fine. We'll make it to Dallas or whatever. Let's consider other. I don't know who we would cast as it, but Greg, you'd pulled out a Japanese legend, folklore kind of thing called, I think it's Shirime.
Oh yeah. This one's crazy. This is a Japanese story. It's a mythical story about a monster. Basically, how it goes is the samurai was walking down the road to Kyoto, and he hears from behind him somebody shouting out, "Hey, you!" And the guy turns around, and there's nothing there, but then like some light comes out of somewhere, and he sees this like creature taking off his clothes, and he turns around, and it's his butt, and it's an eye in place of his asshole. Oh no! I mean, that's the best monster ever, right? Has an eye for an asshole. That's beautiful.
I have a question. Does it have a mouth?
I didn't focus on anything but the asshole.
Does it also have assholes for its eyes? Does it also have assholes for its eyes? Or just 3 eyes total?
I just focused on the asshole.
Yeah, I guess that's
if we're jumbling up body parts, anything can be anything, right? Like an ear for a mouth. Like we can just...
The picture on Wikipedia just shows like a creature on 4 legs and his asshole. And like his eyes is blinking where his asshole is. So I don't know if he has ears, eyes, nose, but he does have an eye for an asshole.
He's like Mike Wazowski, but a giant asshole. I'd see that movie. Well, I had that question about what his face situation is, if that's his butt situation, and on Googling several images of it, I could not tell. Every image of it focuses on the butt, and then the head is like the farthest in the background that it can be. Like nobody cares.
I'm just wondering where the poop goes. Like if that's where
everybody cries.
How does any of that work?
Oh, really?
We found the line.
Shit tears.
That's the name of the movie, right?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Genius. Shit tears.
Everybody
cries. That's the tagline. Coming to Kyoto, 2017.
Yeah, because I don't really know. Is there any sense of once it reveals itself to the samurai, like, is the samurai like kill it, or like what's the progression of dealing with this monster?
I would just think the samurai is just freaked out.
Yeah.
So wait, does it come at everybody ass first? Like, how does this work?
Well, on Wikipedia, I guess the creature strips down. He has clothes on, and he strips down with like a little bit. He does a striptease, and then he turns around. And he shows you that eye for his ass.
Hello.
I have a feeling the movie is the samurai runs away back to town. He's like, guys, I saw, and he describes the creature, and they ask all the questions we're asking now. Wait, where's his shit? So it was an eye on an asshole? And it just continues until they kill him.
I like this movie.
But Brad, the Abura Agako is another yokai that is also... These are such weird pranks, I feel like, all of these things.
This one's weird, because as I looked more into it, there's a whole region of Japanese folk monsters that steal oil. So these ones are called Abura Agako, and they're oil babies. And there's like oil foxes, oil grandmas, oil whatever, oil dragons. There's like all these like folk monsters that like come and steal the oil from your lamp, because like up until whenever we got electricity, the mid 1800s, late or early 1900s, this is how you cooked food. This is how you lit your house. So there's all sorts of like, please don't steal my oil monsters. Anyways, my pitch for a movie is follows. All right, it's the year 2017 or 2018. And we haven't seen oil babies for hundreds of years because Japan is like one of the most technologically advanced nations in the world, right? So there's an earthquake or something, and the entire Japanese archipelago, no power. But oh no, here come the oil babies. And they're just scary babies that steal your oil, and that, Patrick Wilson's in it. Here's what it is. He's cast in it, and everyone's like, Patrick Wilson, you can't be cast as a Japanese person, and then he gracefully bows out, as he should.
Oh man, I was hoping he'd be an oil baby. I just hope he'd just go for it.
He's the priest who's been theorizing about oil babies for years.
The picture I saw, it's just like this mischievous baby with an incredibly long tongue. So apparently they're getting oil from like outside the house through a window or something. It's very pranky, it seems like.
Yeah. They're drinking the oil?
They lick the oil. They lick the oil away.
Well, let them have the oil. What are they doing? They're not hurting anybody.
But I am a rustic Japanese farmer in the year 1742. That's how I'm feeding my family. I need to keep my traditional Japanese household.
Everybody's eating oil.
Yeah, don't eat my oil, bro.
If they come back now, can we just give them Wesson or?
Yeah, they do canola oil blend.
They only like the ones with all the omegas. They need to get them omegas.
These babies need their good fats.
I just think that there's like obviously a whole horror trope of like the creepy child, the horror movie where like the second half of the trailer is just like one little girl singing a nursery rhyme. You know that trailer? That's what this movie is, but with oil.
Well, also, I feel like a lot of horror movies struggle with like, yeah, we want to have a slasher, and we need all the phones and electricity to stop working, and just those need to happen separately. This one, it's all rolled into one. It's a twofer. Yeah, you're all set. Yeah.
Don't eat my oil, bro. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, and then there could be like a Daniel Plainview sort of thing. Maybe like the main oil baby is an oil man, and he drinks your milkshake.
I think we could get Daniel Day-Lewis for this.
Oh,
I don't see why not.
I don't think there could be any person better at playing a baby than Daniel Day-Lewis.
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen beg to differ, but
That's two babies.
I mean, when they were babies.
Sorry, Haley, that's two babies.
It's two babies. She got you there.
Danielle, you found something from our nation's capital. There's a demon cat roaming the Capitol building.
So Demon Cat's whole deal was a few hundred years ago, probably two or whatever, I don't know, however long the United States has been a thing. They brought cats into the White House to deal with their rat problem, and one of these cats died because it's a fucking cat, and cats die real soon. And now, not only does that cat roam the halls, but that cat only gets, like, people only see that cat right before something shitty happens. Like, right before an assassination. Right before anything terrible happens to this country.
Come on, 2016, Obama's watching CNN, and then the cat goes, he's like, oh no! That orange dude's gonna win.
Well, and if you see the cat, like, the cats chill with you, but as soon as you freak out, that cat grows to like 10 feet tall.
Oh.
So it goes from being a normal cat to a 10 feet tall cat, and then it hisses at you and fucking runs. And like one dude had a heart attack. So my pitch for a movie would be basically like Forrest Gump, but with a super dead cat. So like, it's you know, not necessarily seeing it through the cat's eyes, but you see it through the eyes of the White House. Things are happening. Abraham Lincoln is just like fucking chilling like you do and being like, man, I wasn't going to end slavery, but then I did, and it turns out this might actually be a good idea. And then one of his dudes is like, I saw that cat, and he's like, shut up. And then the next day he dies. Because that is part of it, is that the cat showed up like 2 days before Lincoln's assassination. Or, you know, other things like, oh man, what are we going to do with all this money? And the cat shows up, and then the Depression happens. Like, just throughout history, like right before JFK gets murdered, like this cat just happens to be there. Because they never say the cat like kills anyone, so I think it would be like a great way to go through the history of the White House and its occupants. The cat was just missing for like 8 years, and then the cat super came back Just like that song.
The cat came back the very day.
The very next election day. And then we were all boned. So that would be my pitch for a Demon Cat movie, would just be like you would be able to follow all of the things that have happened in the White House that are like super big scandals, or someone gets hella assassinated, or someone's brother gets hella assassinated. And there's just this cat that's like, I tried to warn you. Why do you think I get so big? No one listens to me. Give me fish.
Yeah. Ghost fish. Do you think the cat? Do you think the cat's like friendly? It like means well, and it's trying to be like, a thing's gonna happen.
I don't think. Some people think that the cat is what causes bad things to happen. I think the cat is trying to warn us.
Yeah.
I think the cat's like, yo, dude, I only show up before something messed up happens. Listen to my cat ass. And then we never do.
It's like, meow, meow, and then subtitle, like, bulletproof vest, now.
Meow, 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 meow.
Don't go to Dallas, Mr. President.
I was reading about this, and the explanation that they give, like the logical explanation, is that it's security guards who were overstressed or drunk who would pass out and wake up to see just a normal cat on the ground and just figure it was giant.
Oh my god, the cat was 10 feet tall. I definitely need today off. Oh my god, I have such a headache. And the room is like spinning and I'm throwing up because of this cat.
Yeah, and that seems weirder than just a giant cat, that they would mistake a cat that they're passed out for a giant cat.
Well, and to be fair, the Secret Service didn't happen until Lincoln, but the cat has been around longer, so who knows what folks were doing.
I like the idea that maybe it's just guards who don't know pet sizes. Like, how big could a cat be? 10 feet tall? I don't know. I'm new to Earth, you know? One of the links mentions that it's also seen in the Capitol building, specifically in the burial chamber that was intended for George Washington. And the link played that as if everybody knows that's a thing.
Yeah, that's just normal. George Washington was supposed to be buried somewhere, but instead it's filled with cat skeletons. That's fine.
Yeah.
We've decided that's okay.
Like, and that we need to hold Congress over his body all the time or something, and that it fell through. I don't know, that's just, that's a tangent, but I love it. Way into it.
Wait, so in reality we're holding Congress over a bunch of cat skeletons?
Yeah, where we like need them to have a quorum or something. I don't understand that. I'm not a man of the law.
Well, that's actually, we talk about how George Washington had wooden teeth. It turns out his entire mouth, just cat skeletons.
Support for today's show comes from Squarespace. Like I always say, Cracked fans are incredible people. They're also very internet-savvy people. Someone like you ought to have a presence on the internet that you make your own. Squarespace has beautiful templates created by world-class designers and all kinds of support for you to get your own website with its own domain that lets you make your mark online. Everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. Everything's moving to mobile. I don't know how much you know about the internet business, but it's moving to phones, and your website will be ready for that. There's also nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. They just keep it running for you. And if you do have a question, Squarespace has an award-winning 24/7 customer support team who would probably like to hear from a nice person like you. Put yourself online with Squarespace. You can head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, because you're an awesome Cracked fan, you can use the offer code CRACKED to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. So it's even cheaper than you think it is. That's squarespace.com. Offer code CRACKED. Hey everyone, there is a new podcast from our friends over at the Stitcher Network. It's a serious, in-depth look at the story of Heaven's Gate. You might remember Heaven's Gate from the footage all over TV, the uniforms, purple shrouds, and black Nikes, and people who believed they would be taken to heaven in a UFO. Well, there is even more to the story than that. The new podcast, Heaven's Gate, talks to people who lost loved ones and people who still believe to understand the cult's mysteries. Whatever you think you know, prepare to be surprised. It's also hosted by Glenn Washington, and if you've ever heard his excellent other show, Snap Judgment, you know this will be good. Plus, Glenn even grew up in a cult himself. Hear it for yourself. Subscribe to Heaven's Gate, the podcast, for free, wherever you listen, like Stitcher or Apple Podcasts. Plus, hear episodes 1 week early and ad-free with Stitcher Premium.